Hey everybody, this is Andrew from T is for Tech, and today I'm taking a look. It's the second video I'm doing on cameras from a company called Nooie. Now I did do their outdoor Nooie, I think Cam Pro is what it was called, a little while ago. I've been using that on my mailbox as an outside kind of camera to notify when somebody's kind of walking past my driveway or coming in my driveway, and that's been working really well. I'll link to that video in this cards above or whatever. But this is another camera. This is more of an indoor camera, and this is their Nooie 360 Cam 2. It's a 2K security cam, has motion tracking. The model is IPC 100, has 132 degree field of view, 2K video resolution, like I said, uses the H.265 codec, has two-way audio, night vision, 10 meters of range with 940 nanometer infrared LEDs. Obviously compatible with iPhone and iOS and Android 4.4 Plus. And this is kind of geared towards maybe an indoor pet camera or a baby cam or something like that, where you're probably wanting to get alerts, right? So they have sonic sensor alerts, shows like baby and pets. Night vision, like I said, it does pan tilt control, motion detection, two-way audio, like I said. So I'm gonna go ahead and open this up and we'll take a look at it. And what I'm gonna do with this one, I'm gonna try to use this as a camera for my son's birds. So we have two cockatiels, and yeah, I'm gonna try to set this thing up and capture some video of the birds. Because we're often away from the house, you know, during the afternoons or whatever, and it'd be nice to be able to check in on the birds and just see what's going on. So this does have a micro SD card slot, that's what I meant, local storage, has a speaker, you get like a wall mount, some screws, a cable, the power adapter, etc. Yeah, so basically instruction manual. Sticker. If I can get it out, I think the power adapter's at the bottom. That was kind of tight in there. But basically this is like the mount for the ceiling or wall, screws, USB cable, and a wall adapter. Gonna have to plug this in, so, and this is just a USB cable, so USB cable and a wall adapter, and then that's the SD card slot. I don't know if you can see that. Kind of gotta slide that up. I'm gonna go ahead and grab a micro SD card. Now I'm gonna go ahead and just put this in here. So it's kind of just a 64 gig micro SD. And it fits, super hard to see with these reflections, but it just fits right in that slot. And go ahead and plug the power in. So I went to the Nooie app. I've got Nooie Cam 360. It asks for you to connect to the Wi-Fi and then gives a QR code. So it did, I believe, connect. It says when LED indicator turns a steady white, then go to the next step. So it looks like it's okay. So it turns steady white. It makes like a little bit of a noise. On the app, I can go next. And then it asks, what do you want to call this? I'm going to call this bird camera. Save that. Privacy policy, and then you're basically right into, if you can see this, there's a, okay, so this does have a firmware update, so I guess it's going to take some time to update the firmware. It says updating firmware. So I'm going to go ahead and wait until the firmware is updated, and I'll come back to this. So now, as you can see, now the firmware did get updated here. So now we're back to the screen, and you can see a preview. And basically, you can just swipe on the screen to actually move the camera around. So this is just kind of on my, see my basement mess down here. But yeah, I mean, you can turn it all the way around. You can go down. You can swipe up. All just using, your finger on the screen. As you can see, when I move it, it does move the camera, moves the base side to side. So, basically as you would expect for how it would work. So I'm going to go ahead and, like I said, get this set up somehow in my son's room by his birds, and then I'll come on to the tail end of this video, hopefully with some footage from the birds and just, maybe controlling it there and seeing how well this does, like in that scenario as kind of, like I said, a pet camera sort of thing. So I'm going to go ahead and do that and jump over to the computer and talk about kind of the findings and show some of the video that this captured. So let's hop on over there. So I actually had to do this a few different times with my birds because they were freaked out, basically that there was something new in between their cages, and they just didn't want to do anything. So I just have this on a stand right in between the two different cages, and this is one of the birds. He didn't necessarily get too irritated by it, so he was, just kind of in his cage and looking around. Now, the one thing I did notice is that this is recording at about 15 frames per second, and when I bring it into Premiere to show here, I mean, it's okay, but you can see definitely there's some artifacts in the video. And this was just directly saved from the camera to my phone, and then I exported from my phone to my computer. But from a security standpoint, it's more than adequate, I think, to be able to check in on things. And, if you have this in like as a pet camera or as, just, a camera to be able to remotely control and that sort of thing, you can definitely use it. Now, this is my other bird. He was a little bit more freaked out and just wanted to stay as far away from the camera as possible. But yeah, you can basically see, and there's a timestamp there, and the video quality, it's okay. It's not like the super greatest, I don't think, but it's decent. And then here, I was basically using the app on my phone, and at some point here, it's going to kind of move. So I was moving the camera, trying to get it to turn all the way towards the other cage, and you can see freaked out the bird. He's kind of flapping around at the bottom there because of the noise the camera made, and he just won't come back up or anything here. He's just hiding in that corner. But like I said, you can move it around. You can adjust the camera. You can set up motion detection, alerts. So you can get notified on the phone and the app and all of that. You can also turn on motion tracking, so it will kind of move once it detects motion. Now, I turned it off here because every time it was doing that, they were getting freaked out. But, if you have some sort of animal or, whatever that is not so flighty and crazy, you can definitely probably use that feature and it won't freak them out. But yeah, so overall, this is all of the video that I actually recorded with this was just with the birds in the cage, and that was the plan, from the beginning here, is to use this to monitor them while we're away, and maybe even do the communication and say, hey, it's okay, we'll be home in a little bit, that sort of thing. So
It definitely works for that, for sure. If you have any questions, go ahead and post those below. I'll link to this in the description. This is Andrew from T is for Tech. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.